See, we're seeing what is. Now, the wonderful thing about it, when you begin to see what is real, is that everything in your life that presents a question, a problem, is easily seen. Now, what I do with clients, especially lately, I call it the supersentience mode, 3 mode of being, which we can do now. Okay, what I do is first I ask them to write down on a piece of paper the question that is so important in their life. I say to them, if there was a question that is urgent in your life, that you need to ask, but you never put it in words, you never really wrote it down, you never really looked at it, what would that question be that you can take to the grave with you? Something that you've always asked, but you didn't know what you were asking? Now, how does that question be? Okay. Do you ever feel uncomfortable sometimes during the day? Or feel self-conscious? Or fear arises and you identify with it? Or you worry? Or you find yourself complaining for no reason at all? Okay. What are these things triggered by? That unresolved question. You see? There's a question inside us that we're not aware of. Okay? It's an unresolved question. I call it the living question. Everybody has one. Everybody has some question that is very, very strong, but very few people are ever aware of it. So I help clients to get to the root of it, what that question could be, by talking about what they fear, what makes them worry. It could be a relationship with a husband, it could be the children, it could be a mother-in-law, it could be your age, it could be fear of illness, it could be fear of the future, fear of what's going to happen next. You see? But it could be one question that is there, nagging at you, that the moment you are not living in the moment you find yourself in a stressful situation, you're busy or so, it triggers. This question triggers. And it's enough to cause depression, anger, anxiety. Now remember, all these things are a question. Anxiety is a question. I wonder what's going to happen. You see? Worry is a question. Any fear is a question. You know, oh, I'm going to lose something. That's what fear is. Losing your reputation, losing your body for death, illness, losing your wife, losing your children, losing money, losing house, losing business. Losing what you think you knew and now you've got to give it away in order to be awakened. That could also be a fear. You see, ego is very much afraid. And that's what ego is. Ego is total fear. Okay? And it's always trying to protect its memory. So that's why it worries and that's why it feels guilty. You see? Now people who want to know that they know, because they've read books, the reason they insist on knowing that they know is because they suffer guilt. I want you to know that I know, because inside I'm so unfulfilled. But if you think I know, and if I convince myself that I know, then I'm going to feel okay with myself. So spiritually, I'm doing something about it, because I know enough stuff. But then the question arises, am I living what I know? And the answer has to be, no, of course not. Because you think you know it. See, to live truth is an innocence. One time I was talking in class and I was saying, I've been doing this for 30 years now. And then I've studied everything you can think of. And I've been through everything you can think of. And when I look back, I say, what have I really learned? I've learned to trust life, to trust God, to trust love, to trust that which is. That's what I've learned in all this. I learned to trust it so completely that I don't rely on myself, on this ego self anymore. You see? But people then ask, they say, but Burt, how do you trust? They've lost it already, because there's no how. Trust is the willingness to look at what is real. That's what trust is. You cannot say, well, listen, this is what you do in order to have trust. You do this, you do this, you do this, you're going to be trusting. No, it doesn't work that way. Okay? Trust is a growth. Trust is something that comes from seeing nothing but what is real. And when you're willing to see what is real in everything that happens, that brings trust. Because when you allow yourself to say, look, I really don't know what keeps my heart beating, my cells changing. You see, when the body wants to go to the bathroom, it doesn't wait, it just has to go. You see? So I'm controlled by everything. When a thought comes in my head, there's nothing I can do, it just comes. When a depression comes or an emotion comes, I'm helpless to control it. But when we begin to see that we are not in control as much as we think we are, and we start saying, look, I'm being controlled by a higher power. I don't understand it, it's a mystery. The moment you say that, the moment you begin to turn towards it, which is towards the real, okay, the divine, because it's all divine. When you begin to turn towards it, through that, that's the trust. And that trust takes care of you. And then you find that all the worries that you had, like not enough money or not enough this, is all taken care of. It's just magical. It's just miraculous. Because life, or God, or the divine, or that which is intelligent.